Hello and welcome to the book summary of The Millionaire Fastlane. And by the way, this is actually the second part of that summary. And you can check out the first part as well. In the first part, I actually talked about the mindset. And in this part, I'll be talking about specific tools, techniques, and frameworks that you need in order to get rich. So if you're someone that sure has the mindset and has the ambition to get rich, but does not know where to start, does not know what are the principles required, what are the principles that you need to understand in order to get rich, then this is the video for you. So watch it till the end. And without further ado, let's get started. So the wealth equation of the millionaire fast lane, right? Of fast laners, basically. So there are three types of roads when it comes to getting rich. First is the sidewalk. You will never get rich on the sidewalk. The second is the slow lane, wherein you'll get rich in 50 years. And the next is the fast lane. And each of these roads have a wealth equation. And the wealth equation for the fast lane is, as I've mentioned in this, net profit plus asset value equals wealth. What this basically means is that net profit from whatever business that you are running, and yes, you will require to own a business in order to get rich, right? So that is first part of the equation, net profit plus asset value. Basically, in order to get rich, you need to create assets, right? And whatever the value of those assets combined with your net profit is going to help you create wealth. First, I'll be talking about the first part of the equation, that is net profit. And there are three ways to increase your net profit. Now, the first way, right? Now, so basically, what is net profit? Net profit equals traffic into conversion into profit. So traffic is X, conversion is Y, and profit is Z. So first and foremost, you can increase X, that is traffic. Whatever product or service that it is you are selling, increase the traffic by, let's say, marketing better or getting more people to come in. That is first thing. Second part is get a higher conversion rate, correct? Because here's the thing, right? If you have a lot of traffic but your conversion rate is really low, then you probably need to figure out what exactly is it that you're doing wrong, that is pushing the existing traffic you have away. So increase your conversion rate. And the next thing is increase profit per unit, that is the Z part. So whatever you are doing, whatever you are selling, increase the profit you are generating per customer. So that is the wealth equation. Summarize the net profit part, the first part. And by the way, if you are someone that has no idea what kind of business they should run and whether or not they should run a business, then I highly recommend you understanding yourself. So basically, create a product or service based on whatever it is that are your strengths and your values, correct? You need both of these, because here's the thing, right? Without values, you will not be able to identify the right path. And without understanding your strengths, you will not be able to come up with a product that is going to be, or product or a service that is going to be beneficial for you specifically. Figure out your values. I'll give you the website to find your values. It's called personalvalue.es, and you can go on that website to find your values. And apart from that, I'll also suggest you to, let's say, take the hi-fi test, take the disc test, and take the 16 personalities test. When you go through all of these tests, you'll understand what exactly is it your strengths and what exactly is it that are your values. What are your values exactly? Okay. And you can just go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT that these are my current values, you'll get 5, and these are my current strengths. What are some of the businesses that I can start based on my current income level, based on the current money I have, in a way that's, risk free or whatever, right? You get the idea. And when you're going to enter that prompt, you get so many business ideas that you can use that are going to be based on your specific strengths, your specific values, and your specific conditions and parameters. So there is no excuse for you to not begin. So keep that in mind. And with that being in mind, let's move on to the next part of the equation, which is asset value. So asset value equals net profit into industry multiplier. So for example, whatever business it is that you decide to run, whatever profit that business is making, Now the value of that asset is profit multiplied by industry multiplier. So what is the industry multiplier? Your industry multiplier is basically a number that is going to help you determine what is the worth of your company based on the industry you are in and the profit you are generating. For example, now just take a look at this. Right, this is a list of industrial multipliers. As you can see, so if you are running a company that is into advertising, so industry multiplier for that is 2.85, so that's relatively low. And if you are running a industry or a company that's into the surgical and medical equipment industry, your industry multiplier is 17.32. That is the worth of your company. And this is just mind blowing to understand, because when I understood this, I was like, okay, there are so many companies. And basically, here's the thing, that the reason why it's so low for advertising is because anyone, it's relatively easy. The commandment of entry is easier in order to, let's say, open an advertising company. But let's say if it's a surgical and medical equipment company, then you need to have so much knowledge, so much precision, and the barrier of entry is just so high, because the knowledge you need to have in order to have a surgical and medical equipment company is just so high, and it's so hard to create those equipments that the barrier of entry is very high. And very few people, like handful of people, can kind of make this business work and do it well, which is why the competition is very less and the value of the company is really high, because this is something that people need. Without this, people die. That is why the industry multiplier for this industry is so high. Okay, so whatever company you are investing in or you are deciding to start, its net profit multiplied by industrial multiplier is its asset value. So when you increase its net profit, you increase its asset value. Okay, so that is the idea behind increasing asset values. That was the wealth equation part. The next part is divorcing money from time, as you can see over here. Correct? And divorcing money from time is crucial, because here's the thing, right? If you are constantly investing your time in order to make money, guess what? If you're not investing your time, you're not making money. And that is a terrible situation to be in. Now, the way it should function is that it's really difficult to subtract yourself 100% forever from whatever you are doing, because you might require some level of, let's say, maintenance or inputs in order to maintain whatever system that you've set, whatever systems that help you make money. But the lesser the time you need to invest in order to have that same leverage and make money, the better it is for you, because then guess what, you're making money even when you are not directly investing your time. Okay, so that is really important for you to do. And for that, MJ has mentioned 5 business seedlings. So these are 5 business seedlings, and these are basically things or business systems that you can incorporate that are going to help you generate money passively. For example, rental systems, their passivity is A plus. Let's say you get a house and you furnish it minimally so that you don't have to put in as much effort, let's say, to maintain it, and you just rent it out. Maintenance is basically negligible, because again, they'll just pay you the rent and they have to pay the electricity, and you'll just keep on getting money without doing anything. So passivity in this scenario is very high. The next business system is computer or software systems. Now, this is also very good, because even their passivity is really high. Let's say you develop a software or a system once, and it's really important. For example, you developed a software as a service and you are providing subscription to very niche industries. Now, because there is already an existing software that is yours, that is a part of that company's environment and ecosystem, it's going to be very hard for someone else to enter into it. And if you already understand that industry and you've developed a software for it and you are giving it to them on a subscription basis, guess what? They'll continuously keep on, in a way, buying from you and availing a subscription if that really helps them manage their staff, their productivity, and everything. That is why this is also a really good way to make money passively. Once you invest in it, then the only thing that you need to do is just make sure that it's running, which is not that much of an effort, and keep on working upon getting more clients. Once you've got the client and the client is in your ecosystem and they've settled in, it's going to be really hard for them to just get out and find someone else. So that is another thing. The third system is content. Now, content systems also have a decent passivity. Basically, any content system, for example, writing a book or creating a program that's online, right? Or creating videos on YouTube. Even this is a viable source of money. And there are millionaires on YouTube as well. For example, Mr. Beast. Now, Mr. Beast, they're saying he's going to be a YouTube billionaire. So you understand what the scope of content is. It's possible for you to become a millionaire using content. So if you are someone that would like to be in front of the camera, or even if you are someone that would not like to be in front of the camera but can leverage process and systems to, let's say, develop animations relatively quickly that can provide a lot of value to people, you can do it. And you can also create courses that are going to help you reel people in and provide them knowledge. If you are doing it in a way that's, really enticing, really amazing, that is also a viable option. And the fourth thing is distribution systems. For example, now distribution of goods, or let's say having a distribution, because any business requires distribution. Now, this is an offline business and it does require you to manage people. So it is not that passive. And a distribution system could be, for example, Amazon.com. Now, Amazon helps you distribute your goods, whatever they are, to masses. Walmart is a distribution system. Correct? So you can set up a distribution. YouTube is also a distribution system. It distributes content. Udemy is a distribution system. Correct? So you can develop distribution systems as well. But their passivity is B grade basically. Okay, according to Millionaire Fastlane. And the next thing is human resource system. Now these are the most complex, because managing human resources is, humans are unpredictable. So managing humans is a task. And for you to, let's say, successfully if you are someone that can manage human resource really well, then you can definitely try it out. But according to the Millionaire Fastlane, they just don't suggest it. That's about it. But you can most definitely utilize it. So these were the 5 fast lane business seedlings. Now, what is the leading cause of you being poor? The leading cause of you being poor is the decisions you make on a regular basis. The decisions you make with your money, the decisions you make with your time, the decisions you make with the people you spend your time with. All of these decisions steer your life in one way or the other. And in order to make sure that you do and take these decisions well, there are certain frameworks, tools, and techniques that you can utilize. And 2 ways to make better decision according to the Millionaire Fast Lane is, number one, the worst case consequence analysis, and the second is the weighted average decision matrix. Correct? So these are the 2 things you can do in order to make better decisions. Now, according to the worst case consequence analysis, you ask 3 questions to yourself. What is the worst case consequence of whatever choice it is that you are taking? What is the probability of this outcome? That is the second question. And the third question is this acceptable for you? Right? So, for example, now MJ mentions in his book that he had the opportunity to go out with a girl that was, let's say, really beautiful, but there's a big chance that she was a hooker and she might have an STD. So he asked, what are the worst case consequences? The first one was he might contract an STD, right? And the second one was that he might get her pregnant. So these are the 2 worst case consequences. And the second question, what is the probability of this outcome? The probability of her getting pregnant, let's say because of her, is 1%. And the probability of him contracting an STD could be 5%. Okay. Now, is this acceptable? In that moment, MJ was like, hell no. Even a 0.5% of him getting someone pregnant or contracting an STD was just a non-negotiable for him. So he decided to not move forward with her. And this was an example of him being with a woman. You can utilize this to and apply it in your business or any other domain of your life. So that was the worst case consequence analysis. Second is the weighted average decision matrix. right? So that is the WADM. What you do is that you enlist the factors that you want to consider when it comes to two choices, A or B, and then you rate those factors out of 10. Give them a rating out of 10, and you add weights to these factors as well, and these weights are again out of 10. For example, now MJ has mentioned in his book, so he was to make a decision on which city does he need to move in, Detroit or Phoenix. Okay. And he weighs the factors. So the factors are for weather, schools, cost of living, business climate, taxes, safety, etc. The next step he took is that he added weights. For example, how much does he value out of 10 weather? So 10, he values it 10 on 10. What is the value of the schools over there? How much does he value the quality of schools? So that's 3 out of 10. What is the cost of living? 6 of 10. Right? So these are the things that he weighted. Correct? As you can see. After that, he just added out of 10, where do these both of these places, Detroit and Phoenix, how much do they score on weather, schools, cost of living, business, climate, taxes, safety, entertainment, near family, all of it, right? And he gets, after that, he just multiplies that with the weights. For example, weather is 10, the weight of weather is 10, Detroit scores 2, and Phoenix scores 8. So based on that, the score of Detroit in terms of weather is 20 and Phoenix is 80. He does that for all of the other remaining criterias, and finally he decides upon the final score, right? So towards the end he gets the final score, and as you can see in this specific scenario, Detroit wins. So we decided to move forward with Detroit. You can apply this in any scenario, whether it's a business decision, a life decision, a weighted average decision matrix helps tremendously. The next thing he talks about is changing the oil every 3,000 miles. And what he means by that is constantly educate and upskill yourself. You are the vehicle, you are the car. And in order for you to run smoothly, basically for the car to run smoothly, you need to, on a regular basis, change the oil. If you don't, the car is going to rust out and it's going to stop working. And in your scenario, your oil is education and upskilling yourself. And there are multiple ways in which you can, even if you don't have a lot of money, you can educate yourself in so many ways. You can educate yourself using bookstores, library, internet forums like YouTube, online classes, right? These are a lot of the ways in which you can upskill yourself. And you might say to yourself that, oh, you know what, I don't have enough time to upskill myself. I'm already working a job that takes up most of my time. That's a lie. Okay, there are so many things you can do even if you have a full-time job. Do you drive to your commute? Are you constantly working when you're driving towards your commute? If not, guess what, learn while driving, right? Listen to audiobooks. And do you exercise? Do you work out? You do? Wow, wonderful. Guess what, you can listen to audiobooks while working out. And do you go to the washroom? Are you working while you're going to the washroom? No, guess what, grab your phone. You have Kindle on your phone. You can read books while you're on the toilet, or you can even listen to audiobooks. Correct? This is how you can begin. So there are so many ways to upskill yourself. There is literally no excuse. Okay, so find time to upskill yourself on a regular basis. Now, let's say you are upskilling yourself on a regular basis. You understand the importance of all of this and you are working really hard. And you are now at the point wherein you can start a business and you have faith in yourself as well and you've upskilled yourself enough. What are the things you need to keep in mind in order to start a business? And there are 5 commandments of a business that you need to follow in order to run any proper business that is going to help you scale up, generate money, all of that. Just remember the word cents, CENTS. The first commandment of any business is the commandment of control. You should be the one that is in control of that business. For example, if you're a part of a MLM, multi-level marketing company, correct? They tell you that, okay, you know what? Just sell our products and you're basically running a business, because then eventually, even while you're not working, you're still making money. You're still making money. And the thing is, the commandment of control is in their hands. They decide how much will you get based on their MLM structure, pyramid structure, whatever that is. And if for whatever reason something happens to the company, whatever promise you were given that okay, you will be making money even when you're not working. Guess what? That's invalid now, because you were not the one that is in control. The people at whoever the people that were managing it were. Correct? So that is number one, commandment of control. You should be the one that is in control of it. If you are running your own MLM company, wherein you are at the top and no matter what happens, it's not you decide the fate of the company, then sure, it works. But otherwise, MLM is not a viable business. And moving on to the second commandment, the commandment of entry. Here's the thing, right? If a business is really easy to enter into, you know what's going to happen? It is going to be super crowded, and the ocean is going to be bloody red. And by ocean, I mean that specific marketplace. For example, again, I'll be going back to the MLM gig. Now, if all you need to do is fill a form and pay some money and your business is alive, then that is probably the lowest entry barrier you can have to a business. And as a result, it's going to be very crowded and it's going to be very hard for you to thrive in a business like that. Because of that, you shouldn't do businesses that have very low entry levels. If the business that you are doing is not a process, it's an event. For example, joining an MLM company, it's an event, not a process, right? A process is coming up with a big business idea, finding the right product, right service, whatever it may be that you are coming up with, and then finding the right market, providing it to that market, testing, trying, and then kind of iterating upon it. That is a process. That is not an event. In that, if you are following that path, then again, it's not going to be easy for someone to just get into that business, because the commandment of entry now is super high, right? So that is the second thing. Third is the commandment of need. Whatever business that you are planning to start, it should serve a need. If it doesn't serve a need, guess what? It's not going to be utilized by people. It should solve a problem. The fourth thing is commandment of time. If you constantly have to give your time in order to grow that business, guess what? If you are not able to spend your time on the business, it's not gonna grow. You need to divorce time from wealth. For example, let's say if you want to run a restaurant business and you have one restaurant. Now, the thing is, sure, you could be the one in control. The commandment of entry is relatively high and it is something that people are going to need. But if you are the one that has to constantly supervise people all of the time, and it's a small bakery or something like that, wherein you are the only one you are the primary person that's baking and it's a part of operations, then you're not going to get rich until and unless you divorce your time from that business. You need to find a way to make money even when you're not in that business. And the fifth part is commandment of scale. How scalable is that business? Now, let's say if you're running a local shop, the only way it becomes profitable is if you decide to make franchises out of it. Because when you convert it into a franchisee model, then you can, in a way, scale it up and provide those franchises as well. Correct? So these were the 5 commandments of a business. And moving on to the next part, let's talk about the 3 fast lane interstates. So these are places wherein you can utilize these things to make a lot of money. And so these are the 3 fast lane interstates: internet, innovation, and intentional iteration. For example, you decide to make money on the internet. You can go forward with multiple parts. The first, for example, these are the parts when it comes to making money through internet: subscription based, content based, lead generation, social network, brokerage systems, advertising, e-commerce. These are all of the things that you can do on the internet to make money. Correct? You can create content, for example, YouTube. Now, if I get enough followers, I will be making money through that. But that is not the only way. You can utilize a school community as well. You can develop content and, for example, run your own programs and courses on the internet. You can generate leads for other people or for yourself and run a live one-on-one coaching session, something like that. You can develop a social network like Facebook, Instagram. You can develop brokerage systems, advertising, e-commerce. The possibilities are endless. The next thing you can do is innovation and iteration. Innovate something. And apart from that, iteration. For example, build something on a constant basis, develop a product or a service and constantly iterate upon it, perfect it, and eventually you'll get to a point where it starts to sell itself. So these are some of the ways in which you can make money. Now we are nearing towards the end. The next thing you need to understand is figure out your destination. And here are 4 steps to set your destination. The first step is define the lifestyle. What exactly is it that you want? Do you want a Mercedes, Lamborghini, a Gulfstream G650, which is, by the way, a private jet? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? Note it down as elaborately as possible. That is the first step. Step 2 is assess the cost of your dreams. How much would you need to make in order to maintain your lifestyle? Correct? Figure out the total cost and figure out the maintenance cost. For example, just imagine that you already have that Mercedes, you already have that chef, you already have that Gulfstream G650, whatever it is that you desire, you already have it. Now what is the cost of maintaining that lifestyle? How much fuel does your Mercedes require? How much maintenance does your house require? How much salaries do you need to pay in order to just hire the kind of people that you want to hire for yourself? Figure out all of that. So that is the maintenance cost of your dreams. Now the acquiring cost is going to be something different. How much would it cost for you to acquire those assets? Okay, figure out that as well. The next step is setting the target. Basically, how much money do you need to make in order to be able to maintain all of this? And you need to set 2 systems: money system and business system. Your money system target is basically whatever amount of money you are getting as an interest on whatever money you have currently acquired through assets and putting your money in systems and all of that. And that comes when multiply your net cost of living by 12 and divide that by 0.05, basically 5%. Okay, divide that by 0.05, that is 5%, and which is basically the minimum yield a money system should get. And when you do that, you get your money system target. So this is how much money your money system should make in a year. The next is the business system target, basically how much money your business makes per month. Now for this, you need to multiply your gross living cost by 5, and that's it. Okay, so this is the amount of money you need to make per month in order to live comfortably and live the lifestyle of your dreams that you've set. Correct? So this is how all of it works. Step 4, make it real. Just go out into the world and figure out how you can achieve these targets by implementing the tools, techniques, frameworks, and methodologies that I have just mentioned in this video. And when you do that, your brain will actually start to function, and you'll figure out ways, you'll figure out obstacles, and how you can overcome those obstacles. You'll also figure that part out as well. Okay, so you know what you need to do now. You know what your dream is. Just chase it down relentlessly. Okay, don't just be motivated, be disciplined. I know this is a video, and you after this video is done, if you do not have any system set in place, then it's not going to work. Resolve to actually improve yourself and resolve to upskill yourself and make your life a fast lane life. Now let's just move on to the next part, which is how you can accelerate your wealth. Now, in order to accelerate your wealth, you need to play chess, not checkers. What I mean by that is, so it's not chess, it's not checkers, it is chess. For example, the king is your execution. That is the most important piece. If you can't execute, you will not be able to run a business. Your queen is your marketing. How do you let people know about your business? The bishop is your customer service, the knight is your product, and the rook is your people, and the pawn are your ideas. And here's the thing, right? No matter how good of an idea you have when it comes to your business, if your execution is poor, then your business is going to be poor. But if you have a mediocre idea, but you are executing it at the highest level possible, guess what? This is top tier. Correct? So that is to keep this thing in mind. Execute at the maximum level, and ideation, even if it's mediocre, it's fine. It can work. And the last and final thing, build brands, not businesses. What we basically mean by this is, you need to understand that you need to develop your ultimate selling proposition, unique selling proposition, not ultimate. And there are 6 steps to it. The first is uncover benefits. What are specific benefits that you are providing to the people? How is it that your service is different from other in terms of benefits? The next thing is be unique, as I've mentioned before. Don't be like everyone else. Find a way to separate yourself from the competition. Do things differently. Don't just copy whatever everyone else is doing. 3, keep it short, clear, and concise. People should understand what your USP is. For example, Domino's USP was delivery in 30 minutes. If not, you get your pizza for free. That is an amazing USP. Okay. Fifth thing is, the fourth thing is, be specific and give evidence. Provide evidence to people so that they can actually trust your unique selling proposition. The fifth thing is, you need to integrate it into all marketing materials, your visiting card, your pamphlets, your brochures, your website, whatever it is. Integrate your USP into all of it. And next thing is, make it real. Make sure whatever you are promising, it is real, it is not fake, and it can be possible for you to deliver it. Okay, so that's it from my end. This was the second part of the book summary, the Millionaire Fastlane, and this has to be one of the best book when it comes to wealth. And do not forget to hit subscribe. That's all from my end. And if you are someone, by the way, just a reminder, if you are someone that would like to become a better communicator, better speaker, or would just like to become a better public speaker and upskill yourself in the communication domain, if you don't already know, my name is Mohit Jagwani, and I'm one of India's top speakers. And if you'd like to learn from me, you can check the description out and reach out to me and consult me. That's it from my end. Looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye. Take care.